Hello, my name is Marcela Lorca, Artistic Director of 10,000 Things Theater. We at 10,000 Things often perform plays for people in correctional facilities, senior centers, homeless shelters, and many other community partners. We believe in the power of theater and storytelling in bringing us closer to each other. Because of the pandemic, we're not able to bring our work to our audiences in person, so we decided to reach out to some of them and ask them to share their creativity with us. What you're about to hear are some of the voices of those who are most isolated in this moment. People who are incarcerated in Minnesota have been even further isolated in recent times. With visiting days suspended on most locations, they have not seen their loved ones in over 6 months, and many of their regular activities have been suspended. Our friend, playwright Kira Belensky, came up with writing prompts to provoke their imagination. We sent those prompts to a number of correctional facilities across the state and received nearly 50 responses. The wonderful actors Aimee K. Bryant, George Keller, H. Adam Harris, Kurt Kwan, and Steve Epp will perform a selection of their work for you now. The whole range of responses will be available for you to hear in a podcast series and to read in a blog later in the year. We're excited to share with you the uniqueness and excellence of these pieces. We celebrate the humanity and the creative expression of each and every person and wish you, our viewers, much peace and health during these times. Take care and enjoy.
Keller, scene 1, take 2.
Stand by in 5, 4, 3.
Aliens by Bakita at Forensic Mental Health Program, St. Peter. Chasing my shadow. What has gotten into me? Alienated as my star falls in peace. Nights of aura. Days of peace. All I see is darkness. What is in the dark? My shadow comes clear as a soul of ease. I fall down where my mind can be. What did I do? Who can I be? I feel so alienated. My soul is at peace. It's like time is almost here. I am the best. Why did I fear?
Take 1. Stand by.
The Moment Is Now by Trenton at Ramsey County Corrections. The moment is now, while the world erupts in turmoil and pandemic chaos. I am the voice of the spirit of my ancestors who long ago warned of dangers and things to come in the near future. I'm the reflection of the evils that have been brought on this earth, spilled with blood, the sacrifices of many. I'm the awareness of today's future to keep the dreams of my people who paved the way to have the opportunities I do, to have the free will I did have back then. I am the cries of their pain and fears that suffered from the highest mountain of Martin Luther King. I dream about the day our power is returned and a new history is written for the human race. I dream of a place I'm not held in bondage and prosperity blossoms upon me. I remember all the stages I went through in life, from being a baby to a child, child to teen, and teen to adult. I don't remember death. Because of the moment I was in the afterlife, I was still spiritually alive. The experience I experience is the same pain and hurt my ancestors experience. The cries of their blood that rain upon this earth, I believe now at this moment, it's no better time to change and cast out the injustice, evils, inequality of the people of this world, to restore justice, peace, love, equality, and respect for humanity. I believe in unity and the faithfulness of humans, and the moment is now, not when it's late and water washes over all the green earth and dark covers and hovers over the blue skies. I want many voices to be heard, not lost. I want over 10,000s of successes, not failures. I want to be free at last by any means necessary at this moment.
Dear God, by Tam at Minnesota Correctional Facilities, Shakopee. Dear God, prison was always just a place I thought only people like my brothers went. A possibility for me that would never be real. A horrible place I could never be sent, but now I wonder if I'm just like my brothers and how they must feel. Though I'm not broken, only bent, I am still too hurt to heal. Now here I am, standing inside these four walls, assuming what each night will bring, crying out to you from the bathroom stalls. With all my heart I sing. In the shower, where water leaks down my face, I am ashamed. Especially when I realize I'm no different than anyone just like my brothers in this place. I often wish I had listened when people would say, "To thine own self be true." Instead, I put on a mask each day and hid myself from you. Now I'm isolated away from the other inmates, scared, sick, and alone because the coronavirus makes its way through these prison gates. And because, like my brothers, I feel like this life is all I've ever known. With nothing but time to think, I think of everything I ever missed. I think about the kids and family I left behind and all the years I wasted being so pissed. Then I close my eyes and this is what I find. An imaginary place like nothing I have ever seen. It's high up in a mountain. It's hidden in my dreams. It's such a peaceful place where I wonder if anyone just like my brothers would know exactly what I mean. There is a tree of life with a fountain, green pastures, and a stream. In this imaginary place, I wonder if I'm actually alive because I can see angels dancing above, telling me I am just like my brothers, and that I will survive because even in this unimaginary place, we are able to receive your grace, mercy, and your love. Thank you, Jesus. Love always, Tam.
10,000 faces, 10,000 words.
Signs of Wear by Richard at Minnesota Correctional Facility, Stillwater. I've come to realize that a person's efforts of not becoming a product of their environment are all but futile. As I reflect on my own interpersonal struggle with this, has become obvious, almost painfully. The harder I try to be true to who I am, the further I feel pulled away from it. It's beyond frightful, having the very real dread of becoming conditioned to a way of thinking not inherent to my nature, or of the timeless nurturing of my parents who raised me. You know, most any creature that is subjected to the same behavior on a routine basis will eventually succumb to it, whether it takes a few days or a few decades. Result is likely permanent change, be it positive or a negative one. Unfortunately, I am in an environment that breeds a behavior of negativity in exponential fashion and pace. I can already see, feel, hear my loss. The change in me of being conditioned to that which I despise. You know, the picture of a prominent boulder on an oceanic coastline comes to mind. You know, it's sturdy, solid and reliable, firmly set and seemingly immovable. It has a purpose, since it holds up many other rocks and boulders around it, and it is, by design, able to bear much weight. However, this mighty boulder is constantly being pounded by crashing waves. It is routinely washed over, and even by the most benign and gentle of tides. Its once squarely formed edges, often used by other rocks as a means of holding on to, are slowly being eroded away. It's these edges that are becoming rounded, slippery, almost polished. Over time, this boulder will eventually capitulate to the harsh environment of the shoreline. It will be broken away from its foothold and thus moved off its original foundation. It'll be tossed and tumbled by the relentless motion of the waves and forced into conforming to the same rounded shape as all the other pebbles around it. One day, that once statuesque boulder will be nothing but a minuscule grain of sand, nestled neatly amongst all the other countless grains of sand that form the shoreline. And even if that shoreline is used as a beach, it will no doubt get walked upon by those who would care less as to what lies beneath their feet. I once considered myself much like that boulder. I can relate to the purpose it once had, the feeling of having others around whom I could support and bear the weight of. I am in an environment which matches that of the eroding action of the crashing waves and water. I'm no longer able to provide the edges that others can use as a life-saving grip. I'm not on my original foundation, and find myself being pitched from side to side, tousled around without regard to what I once was. No matter how hard I try to fight these destructive waves of my prison surroundings, I know my eventual fate is becoming yet another insignificant grain of sand on the beach of life. His only purpose then is to get walked on by others. While I may not be a grain of sand yet, I am showing obvious signs of wear.
Okay, great. Scene one, take one.
Letter to Someone Special by Brooks at Minnesota Correctional Facility, Faribault. Dear Mr. President, God damn, I miss you and love you so much. It has been precisely 1 year and 3 days since I was abducted by aliens. So, I know you must be worried sick about me. But not to worry, things are not so bad here. In fact, this place is better than Disney World because this experience is beyond surreal. I find myself constantly stuck in a state of utter astonishment. What do these aliens look like, you must be wondering? Well, let me tell you, sir. These aliens look a lot like us. The women all look like Angelina Jolie, while the men all look like Weird Al Yankovic. I'm the only one here who looks like Brad Pitt, with a serious case of male pattern baldness. At least, that's what you always told me. I hope things on Earth are going well. Oh, how I do miss how we would lock ourselves in my White House janitor's closet and we would talk for hours about everything under the umbrellas of our imaginations. It pains me that I am no longer there to advise you or scrub your toilet squeaky clean anymore for that matter. But don't you worry about me, I'll be just fine. They call this planet Hallucinado. And now that I'm here, I realize that Earth never really was the place for me. The aliens like to give just as many hugs as you and I used to give each other, and every day. There are lots of glowing things here, and that's awesome. You can feel the energy coursing all around. Perhaps it has something to do with all of the radioactive debris floating throughout the air. Something else that floats through the air are these creatures that look like larger versions of winged green pit vipers. They have big fangs, but I ain't scared. These aliens are big fans of Star Wars, unicorns, and watermelon-flavored Jolly Ranchers. They are frightened of things such as escalators, bubble gum, and gerbils. This place has lots of sand, so there are lots of sand castles. This is the reality here. Tomorrow, I'm going fishing with my friend Tic Tac. He promised me that he would make sure this letter was delivered to you, so I hope it finds you well. God damn, I miss you. I know that one day our paths will cross again, Mr. President. Until then, hold your head up to the stars and don't destroy the planet. Sincerely yours, your loyal advisor, janitor, and best friend forever, Mr. Krusty Giggles.
10,000 stories, 10,000 songs, 10,000 worries, 10,000 wrongs. 10,000 faces, 10,000 words.